College football week 8 has concluded yesterday. Last night it concluded. As I'm recording this, I just got done watching Sunday Night Football. I'll do a recap on that. But here's just a big upset. Friday night, to start off week 8 of college football, we had a good one. Louisville on the road at Miami on Friday night. And I was not expecting this at all. Louisville upsets number 2 Miami 24-21. And really, for Miami, the only responsible one for this loss is Carson Beck. Carson Beck was leading the number 2 in the team in the country. He could have came out in the Heisman race as well, played well, and, got himself probably up to first in the Heisman race. No, instead, he proceeded to piss himself and throw 4 interceptions against Louisville. I don't care if you're facing, Florida State, who is terrible at 3-4 after losing to Stanford. I don't care. You cannot throw 4 picks and win a game. Carson Beck played terrible. Louisville capitalizes and pulls off the upset. And guys, Miami still had the chance to win that game until Carson Beck threw his 4th pick on the final drive. And yeah, Louisville with the major upset over Miami 24-21. Great game. It was a great back and forth game in terms of momentum. And Louisville gets it done. And what a shocker to start off the week in college football. Next up, we had the number 1 team in the country, Ohio State, taking on Wisconsin on the road for the Buckeyes, their second straight road game. And Ohio State just dominated this game as expected. My score prediction heading into this game was 45-3 Ohio State. Don't believe I did a preview on this game, although I might have to check and go look back. I don't know. But, yeah, just a game dominated by Ohio State. Really no surprise here. Ohio State scored 17 in both halves. And what is really scary, I'm not just saying this because I am an Ohio State diehard fan, but as a general college football fan, you have to look at this Ohio State team and say, they're not even in third gear yet. They might not even be in second gear. This Ohio State offense is not playing that well, and they're still winning games by 30. It is absolutely nuts. This Ohio State team is beating teams by double digits, and they're not even playing that well. They're not even playing up to the potential of their team, of this team, and that is the scary part. And then the other takeaway from this game, Julian Sayin is a Heisman candidate, whether you like it or not. He should be top 5 in the Heisman race after that performance. He threw 4 touchdowns and really impressed with that last throw in the end zone when he threaded the needle to Brandon Ennis to take a 33-0 lead. Really, really good throw from Julian Sayin there late in that 4th quarter. And a dominant game of the Buckeyes. Julian Sayin, one of the best quarterbacks in college football. There's no doubt in my mind. Buckeyes dominated 34-0 in that game. Next, we had the Texas A&M Aggies currently, after the AP poll dropped the current day I'm recording this, Sunday night. I believe Texas A&M is number 4 right now. But yeah, they've went on the road to Arkansas, which is kind of a tough place to play in. But Marcel Reed played a great game, but Arkansas battled in this game. They fought, and Texas A&M's defense give up 42 points to a lackluster Arkansas team that is coming off their head coach being fired and Sam Pittman, and Arkansas just hung around in this game and outscored Texas A&M in the second and in the fourth quarter. Just a really concerning game for Texas A&M, and if they want to win the SEC championship this year, they have to be a lot better defensively. They got to be better defensively, and they got to be better all around. If they're gonna compete in the SEC and win an SEC title and make the playoffs, they've got to be better defensively. But Texas A&M still survives, and they pull it up 45-42. Close game there at the end, but Texas A&M able to survive. Next, we had number 5 Ole Miss going on the road, taking on number 9 Georgia, and this Ole Miss team really dominated this game up until the fourth quarter. Well, I wouldn't say dominated, but was in control. Ole Miss was in control until the fourth quarter, until they really let this game go. Ole Miss had a 9-point lead heading into the fourth quarter in an offensive shootout. I believe they were up like 35-26, and Georgia scored 17 points in the fourth quarter to win the game against Ole Miss. Really good game with two really good teams. Ole Miss will be there in the end of the SEC. I don't believe Ole Miss is going to go the SEC title game, but they certainly are going to make the playoffs. I think Ole Miss makes the playoffs this year. Ole Miss is a playoff team, but Georgia they have got insane plot armor. I mean, Georgia keeps fighting and fighting, and they managed to make a comeback in the fourth quarter and win this game 43-35. Both defenses really couldn't stop either offense, and just an offensive shootout, but Georgia, again, pulling through late and winning 43-35 over Ole Miss. Georgia, I will say this, and I will say this again next week when we do the Week 9 preview. Georgia is one of the best teams in the country, and so is Alabama. And that's just how I feel about both Alabama and Georgia. But yeah, Georgia takes down Ole Miss 43-35 in a top 10 collision. Next, we have number 6 Alabama at home taking on number 11 Tennessee. This game dominated by the Crimson Tide. Really, Tennessee spent the whole game trying to claw their way back into this one. And that Alabama defense really, for the first time this year, has looked great against a quality opponent. They dominated the line of scrimmage at Alabama. They dominated this game, controlled the game, and Alabama wins 37-20. Overall, a great game for Alabama. Won all 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, they did tie, as you can see there in the box score, but just a game dominated by Alabama, and Alabama is a really talented offense, and Alabama is going to go to the SEC championship game. Now, whether they face Georgia or Texas A&M is to be known, but I believe it will be one of those two. And yeah, just Alabama is a super good team, and I have Alabama at number 3 in my top 10 currently right now. If you want to know what my top 10 is and my honest thoughts every game, go follow my X. I will pop it up right now in this video. But yeah, and there's my X. But just a really dominant game from Alabama as they knock off number 11 Tennessee. 2 really quality wins for Alabama over Tennessee and Georgia. And Alabama, as my third best team in the country after this dominant win over number 11 Tennessee. And then we have number 7 Texas Tech going down to unranked Arizona State, 26-22. Obviously, Will Hammond didn't work out too well for Texas Tech. I didn't see much of this game, but for Texas Tech, you can't take that loss. You're in the middle of the season. You cannot take that loss to a bad Arizona State team. Just a brutal loss, really, for Texas Tech. But I do believe they still are a top 10 team. I believe with Brennan Morton in the lineup, they are a top 10 team. But without him, I wouldn't say they are. Just a shocker, really. I did not expect Arizona State to pull this upset at all. I literally thought Texas Tech would win by double digits, but a stunner, to say the least, and one of the two major upsets this weekend, and number 7 Texas Tech goes down, and it's stunner to Arizona State. Number 17 Vanderbilt at home taking on number 10 LSU. LSU loses their second game of the season to a really good Vandy team. This is not an upset in my book. As you guys know, I picked Vanderbilt to win this game. My prediction was 20-17 Vanderbilt, but Vandy pulls it off in a 31-24 win over LSU. And my question is for LSU fans, do you stay with Brian Kelly? Obviously, Brian Kelly is kind of like James Franklin in a way, but kind of not. Brian Kelly has a history of dropping games he should win and teams that he should beat, like this game versus Vanderbilt. And he also has a history of winning games versus, like, ranked teams. And James Franklin's kind of the opposite, but kind of not. James Franklin, obviously, in his last 2 games of his coaching career, lost those 2 games that he should have won, obviously, but that's besides the point. Brian Kelly I think he should be gone, but I obviously want to hear LSU fans' thoughts in the comments. LSU loses to Vandy in a game where they should have won, in my opinion. Did predict Vanderbilt to win, and Vandy was favored in this game. So really, it's kind of not like they should have won, but in my opinion, they have too much talent to lose like this to a Vanderbilt team that I'm not giving Vanderbilt no credit. I'm giving Vanderbilt a ton of credit. They came in this game and did what they were supposed to do. They were the favorite team for once. It seems like in a century, and won the game versus LSU and just outright beat LSU. If it wasn't for that explosive play to Xavier Thomas, LSU, wouldn't remotely be in that game there at the end. So, great game for Pavia, great game for Vanderbilt, and a great win for Vandy as a whole, as a program for Vanderbilt. Next, we had the 7:30 p.m. game between number 20 USC and number 13 Notre Dame. Notre Dame takes down USC 34-24, and really a back and forth game up until that really final quarter. That was obviously the big touchdown to, I believe it was Jacoby Lane, and then from there, Notre Dame just took control of the game. They're in the late stages and pulls off a 34-24 win. What a game for Jeremiah Love. In my opinion, Jeremiah Love is the best running back in the country and one of the best players in the country. Just a very good player and definitely a first-round draft pick. Really good game, really good execution really in the fourth quarter from Notre Dame. And yeah, they win 34-24. I predicted Notre Dame to win this game, and they did. I predicted 38-31 Notre Dame, so I did get close in this game. Probably my best prediction of the season, I'm not even gonna lie. And yeah, Notre Dame wins 34-24 in a dominant fourth quarter from the Irish. And my belief, honestly, I believe Notre Dame is a top 10 team. I have them ranked number 10, either 9 or 10 in my top 10 on my X. Once again, you can follow that. I've already put that up. You guys can go follow me there, and you'll get to see my top 10 every week, and then my brutal and honest thoughts of every game. Notre Dame wins 34-24 over USC. BYU pulls off the 8 p.m. late game against Utah, 24-21. Number 15 BYU beats number 23 Utah. Utah, I don't believe is a top 25 team. Don't even know why they're ranked, to be honest. I don't believe they're all that good. I just think they're overrated, in my opinion. BYU beats them 24-21. I can't really say much about this game since I didn't really watch this game, I'm going to be honest. I was watching Alabama, Tennessee, and Notre Dame and USC, but overall a great game by the looks of it, and BYU pulls it off 24-21 over Utah. Next, we have Missouri of surviving the upset in overtime against Auburn. Really a battle to the end in overtime. Obviously, in my belief, I believe Auburn is an underrated team. They have 3 really quality losses to Oklahoma. Forget the other one, but then this one against Missouri. 3 really quality losses, and they're an underrated team. Yeah, the other one was Georgia. I forgot. It was Georgia. That's 3 really quality losses. And in all those games, they were in it. Like, Auburn was up 10-0, and likely should have been up 17-0 heading into halftime. And they blew the game versus Georgia, to be honest. I mean, they blew that. And they really just blew this game, too. I mean, they had a 17-10 lead, I'm pretty sure, at one point against Missouri. And then Missouri scored the last 13 points, I do believe. I didn't watch much of the game. But yeah, just a battle to the end for Missouri. And really, Missouri is starting to concern me. Because although Auburn is an underrated team, they shouldn't have had to go into overtime to beat Auburn. A very sloppy game, in my opinion, for Missouri if they can't beat Auburn in regulation. Really concerning for Missouri, but then again, they competed with Alabama and only lost by 3 to a top 4 Alabama team, so yeah. Missouri survives the upset 23-17 over Auburn. Next, we have number 21 Texas taking on unranked Kentucky on the road. Really concerning for Texas. That's all I really have to say. There is no reason why they should have gone to overtime against Kentucky. Really concerning. This is just getting outright concerning for Texas now. They don't look like a top 25 team. I still think they are barely a top 25 team. But just really concerning for Texas, considering the expectations going into the season for this Longhorns team. And let's face it, Texas, their 2 losses, the one game, they shouldn't have dropped. And I mean, the Ohio State loss was acceptable. Arch in his first start. I did think Texas would lose that game. I predicted Ohio State to win that game in week 1. And a reasonable loss there, and then you drop a game and then look really concerning against Kentucky. I don't know what is going on with Texas. Credit to Kentucky for fighting in this game, but just a really concerning win for the Longhorns in overtime. Should not have to go to overtime to beat Kentucky, so really concerning for the Longhorns, but nonetheless, they survived 16-13. And the final game recap of this video, unranked Michigan at home in the Big House, taking on Washington. Michigan obviously now, at the time of this recording, earlier today, got ranked number 25. Michigan is a top 25 team. As much as I hate to say that, as much as I say that they're not, they are. Michigan just dominated Washington in the last quarter and a half of this game. And really surprising, sloppy game from the Washington offense. Couldn't get anything going against this Michigan defense that was physically dominated by USC. And I don't know why Washington didn't go to Yona Coleman more. Coleman is their best offensive player, and it is becoming obvious. And Damon Williams played horrible. Damon Williams played horrid. That was a really bad performance from Damon Williams. 3 late interceptions to give Michigan a boost to win 24-7. It is going to be a collision November 29th between my Buckeyes and these Wolverines. It's going to be a really good game, really going to be a physical game. Obviously, Michigan, really tough team to beat in the trenches. As showed in this game, Michigan just dominated the last quarter and a half. And Washington just gave this game away. They had the opportunities. They had plenty of opportunities to just let it slip through their hands. The missed field goal in the second quarter was key. There was those 3 late interceptions that I really felt like gave Michigan that big lead at the end of the game. Just really, this is on Damon Williams and then a whole Washington offense. That Washington defense did all that they could. They were holding Michigan. They were stopping them. Michigan would get down the field and couldn't capitalize. And if Michigan could capitalize down, like, if Michigan was able to capitalize, they would have won this game by more. So, I mean, just really, it was a 7-7 game late in the third quarter and just a dominant last quarter and a half for Michigan. And Michigan, in my opinion, a top 20 team in the country, and just a really good response from Michigan off the USC loss. As Michigan wins 24-7. And yeah, that is going to be it for a preview or for a recap of Week 9 of college football. Dominant last quarter and a half for Michigan as they win 24-7 over Washington. I figured I would put this up to cap off the video. I appreciate you guys for likes, comments, stuff like that. If you like this video, please like, subscribe. It would help me out. Trying to grow this channel, as I've said before. And yeah, that'll do it. I will have the Monday night preview and the Sunday night preview out either Sunday night, which is the time I am recording this, or on Monday the 20th. So yeah, I appreciate you guys for the support, and that'll do it. Sunday recap coming soon.